Good evening to all of you. Please, any one of you respond. This is entrepreneurial development class. Entrepreneurship development. Yes, some of the students to join. Archana, am I audible? Archana.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So, what about other students? They are joining, I think. Today, in this particular session, let us briefly sum up about various factors that are influencing the entrepreneurial development, entrepreneurship development, and what are the various factors that influence for the growth of entrepreneurship, and what are the various problems that are encountered by the entrepreneur while carrying out, and what are the various forces actually they will encourage the person to be an entrepreneur. All these aspects we are going to take up in this. So, before going to that, listen, Muhammad sir. Hello, Muhammad Mujahideen.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Right. Okay. I hope you have attended the last class also, day before yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Day before yesterday. Okay. So, any doubts regarding this one? So, in the previous class, we have discussed about the entrepreneurship and what are the types of entrepreneurship and all, and what are the various classification of entrepreneurs, these aspects that we have covered. So, in this class, let us proceed slowly towards the various factors affecting the entrepreneurship. Okay. Before proceeding to the class right now, if you have any doubts or anything to discuss, open it is now for 1 or 2 minutes. Then I will proceed for this next aspects. And today we are going to cover up about unit number 2 and then 3. Right?
Sir, you can continue, sir. No doubts.
Okay, right. Then no problem. I am just waiting for other, at least another 1 2 students to join, or else we will continue with the same. Right. Let them join at their convenient time.
Oh.
So, actually, we are talking now about unit 2. Then I will proceed with the important points and aspects on this. So, in the unit 2, actually, it is titled for the basically discussing about the entrepreneurship, and at the same time, what are the various factors that are forcing towards entrepreneur. An entrepreneur cannot become an overnight, he cannot become an entrepreneur. Any person cannot become a producer, any person cannot become a manufacturer, or there must be some factors. Either it is a social factor or a political factor, or at the same time, he will be he will become entrepreneur because of other reasons also. Let us share with the slide and then we'll go with that. Yeah. I hope you are able to visualize this slide. Then what are the various factors that are influencing the entrepreneurship? Actually, in the second slide, it is given as that Emergence and the development of entrepreneurship is not spontaneous, but it is dependent upon the various phenomena like economic phenomena, social phenomena, political phenomena, psychological phenomena, and so on and so forth. Various factors that will come across, various factors that will force him to become an entrepreneur is referred to as a supporting conditions for the growth and the development of entrepreneurship. So then generally we talk about a person who is in the business community, then he will try to become a entrepreneur normally. If a father is doing a business, then automatically he will push up his sons also to into the business in the especially in the some of the marginal communities. So marginal communities in that, so Gujarati community, Marwadi community, etc. They are father, forefather, and above. The best example here is to say that is we are seeing the Gokul chart. The Gokul chart, whenever you observe, whenever you go there, you observe there will be photos. There some photos are placed on the wall. That means father, forefather, like that. They are totally in the same business and they are running the business successfully. They are not any failure. There is a successful entrepreneur who is running with the business. And then another type of business, that is hotel business, is also successfully run by the various people who are in the same economic factor or a same economic status and political status. People who are in the political line, they will continue with the other, they will continue in the same line when the even sons and grandsons also will become the political parties, political leaders only. So in the same way, we can go with that in this one. So just 1 second. Let me practice to go. Like concerning this question later. Interesting. Right. Thank you. Nice. This is also to be done. ఎవరైనా వస్తారా అండి? ఎవరు రారా ఇంకా క్లాస్కి అండి? అర్చన అండ్ ద సెకండ్ పర్సన్. Only 2 participants are there in this class. If at least 5 to 6 members are there, then I thought of discussing as a case studies also in this particular class. But if the strength is very less, they are not utilizing the various services that are provided by the Ambedkar Open University. They are providing all sorts of facilities to the students, but it is the students to take up this particular opportunity to gain. Participants can now see your application. Are you able to see this one? Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, if any group is there, you put a message there to join for the class. That is entrepreneurship development, so that it will be interesting for us also to go with that, right? Okay. Let us try what we can do. When the others they are not taking initiative to join, we cannot force them at all. But it is anyhow, it is a live streaming is there. They will take advantage of that. So emergence and the development of entrepreneurship is not spontaneous factor because it will have its own effect. Everybody will become entrepreneur. No, answer is no. Nobody can by force. He cannot become entrepreneur. You cannot force anyone to. Okay, you start up enterprise. You start up enterprise. We in the engineering colleges and MBA colleges, postgraduate colleges, as a faculty member, we say that no, you don't depend on the job that is given by the various people. You try to stand on your own feet and try to become entrepreneur. Try to start up enterprise. Out of the 100 students who can become entrepreneur, only one or two, that too especially who are having financial background, sound financial understanding, and able to lead, they only will start up that to a small company, and they will grow further in the future, in the future points of time. So that is how the people will become entrepreneur. It is not spontaneous, it is born and brought up, it is not any other. There are so many factors which will influence a person to become an entrepreneur. Then coming to the what are the various factors? Economic factors is the first one. So in the case of economic factors, what are the various? This is a very, very important question towards the unit number 2. And what are the various factors that are influencing the entrepreneur? Explain the factors influencing the entrepreneurship. Explain the factors influencing the entrepreneurship. That questions you please try to note down, and that questions will be a question bank for you at the end of the day. So, okay, now whenever I am completing one unit or at the moment of time, so I am giving you the important questions. So that questions you can write it, and then that will become a question bank for you at the end of the syllabus. So economic factors. In the case of economic factors, capital is the foremost important factor. Availability of funds for the investment. So if the people, they are able to make the investment further, then it is possible for them. Then second one is that, okay, let me change the slide so that we can elaborately discuss on it. Capital is the first one. Second one is elaborate labor. Labor is that easy availability of the right type of workers also. Sometimes when the workforce is not sufficiently available or skilled workforce is not available, then it is not possible for the entrepreneur to start up any enterprise. So then third one is the material. Whenever we are talking about materials, so material is the most crucial important element for the purpose of producing any sort of product. So first one, capital, there must be someone to invest or some sort of a business firms to provide in the sources of capital, or at least there must be easy availability of finance. Then only a person will try to become an entrepreneur. Second is labor. In the already we have discussed. There are various types of labor. That is one unskilled labor, semi-skilled labor, skilled labor. If the firm requires highly skilled labor or highly technical people, and in that area, if the people are not fully skilled or semi-skilled only, then in such a case, it is difficult for him to get employees. So then automatically what happens? He will hire the people from various areas, that increases the cost, and finally, that increases the cost, and finally, he will incur the losses. That will be a demotivating factor for the entrepreneur. So what type of workers we need? Say, for example, in the BD manufacturing industry, we need so much of women employees, those who can patiently do the activity for a continuous long time. So then in such a case, the type of labor must be available for that. If you want to develop a software setting, then you must require a software. Like that, the labor required or designated for that particular activity must be available in that particular area. Then materials. Then when coming to the materials, adequate supply of the raw material is, without adequate supply of material, no industry can function properly. And emergence of entrepreneurship is not possible. Actually. Emergence is not possible. Emergence of entrepreneurship is not possible. So if the material is not material means in the sense required material in the required quantity at the right price. Right material, right price, right quantity, that must be available. And right quality of material is also required. Say, for example, if we want to manufacture ice, then we must have a quality water supply. Then only it is possible. If you want to start up aluminum industry, then you need to have the power supply, continuous power supply. And in the same way, whatever the materials that are required to produce production and all, they must be available for the person entrepreneur in a sufficient quantity. So that is one. Then coming to the market. This market, I have not given any elaboration. Actually, market means what? Actually, first the area where we can sell the goods and buy and sell, that process. Market is actually the main important factor for the development of entrepreneurship. So when you are not able to sell the goods, whatever you produce, then how it is possible for the How is it possible for the development of entrepreneurship? If you are not able to sell the goods, automatically it is not possible for the growth of an entrepreneur. Market where, as we all know, the markets are classified into various types. That is monopoly market, oligopoly market, monopolistic market, and so on. If the market is totally controlled by the government, that is called a restricted market. When the market is totally restricted, then in such a case, there is no possibility of becoming an entrepreneur in that particular market. And next one is monopoly market. In the case of monopoly market, everybody will be interested to be a monopolist. Every business person wants to be a monopolist in his business. But at the same time, whatever the quantity that he is producing, he must sell at the price that is required but set by the market, that's all. So monopoly market is not so easy. So moreover, there are so many restrictions on the monopoly markets from the government side also. Then there are so many advantages for the monopolistic competition also. So in case of monopolistic competition, as by nature of characteristic feature, there will be more number of sellers, there will be more number of buyers, the products are known to the public, the prices are fixed by the public, that's all. Then monopolistic market is having its own advantage, monopoly is having its own advantage, and so on. So if the market is not convenient or the market is not favorable to become an entrepreneur, it is not possible. So whatever the product you are producing, the market should support. That means the product you must be able to sell. Then next, coming to the infrastructure. The infrastructure facilities in that particular infrastructure facilities that the yeah. So infrastructure facilities developed by so many public sector, then government and all. Then only this particular entrepreneurial skills will develop. So promotion of industrial estates. Government must be able to develop or influence the people to become entrepreneur. So one is promotion of industrial estate, and that is industrial development areas, auto nagars, etc. is a few examples of such initiatives. Automation, that is automobile industry areas. Then all these aspects that must be taken into consideration. So if the government provides infrastructure, in the best example, we can say that special economic zones. So all the SEZs we normally call. Then if a particular industrial area is developed, then in that industrial area, the person can become an entrepreneur. So in the Hyderabad also, we are very known about that Zidmetla industrial estate, Balanagar industrial estate. So in these areas, there is every possibility to start up enterprise, and the government will provide a lot of support. These are the economic factors. Okay, I hope you are able to follow. Emma? Yes? At least one of you respond. Emma, any doubts? Briefly, you can point out various economic factors in the short question. What are the various economic factors that influence entrepreneurship? What are the various economic factors that influence the entrepreneurship? Then non-economic factors. In the case of non-economic factors, the most important characteristic nature, that is called as need achievement theory, whatever that is proposed by the Mackland. So in the case of need achievement theory that is proposed by Mackland, that is he is the motive to excel that tends to characterize successful entrepreneurs. So a successful entrepreneur will come out only when he is having a need achievement. Yes, I want to achieve this one. I want to achieve my target. I want to become a successful entrepreneur. Then only it is possible for him to become the entrepreneur. So then he must have a zeal. He must have an ability. He must have a willpower to go for the achievement of this one. So actually, in the case of Mackland need achievement theory, he has given three important factors. That is, one is achievement, then second is affiliation, third is power. These three important factors are identified as the key factors for the entrepreneurial development aspect. This is name. So in the case of this achievement, he must have a strong need to set and accomplish challenging goals. A goal must be something which will drive you towards the next and next higher steps. Then take tasks calculated, risks to accomplish their goals. Tasks are to be made in such a way that you must be able to calculate the risk out of that also. And tasks must be separated, risks must be separated. You must be able to accomplish their goals. So calculate, identify the task. First I set the goal. For the goal, you divide it into separate tasks. When once tasks are separated, all you have to take is that whatever the tasks, it is not takes, it is task. And then it is also take the, this is also right one way. So I will continue with the first point itself. He must have a strong set of goals and he must have a challenging goals. For each goal must be separated into set targets, and set targets are to be identified. And for that, he has to calculate the second point, that is that risk that is to be accomplished further. Then what will be the risk aspect and how the risk is to be mitigated, how the risk is to be mitigated, right? Then how to manage the risk, how to minimize the risk, all these aspects he must be able to understand. And next, likely, he must be a receiver of the feedback only. So whenever any other person say complaint, then he should not become a reverse, and he must accept it as a regular feedback mechanism, and on the basis of that, he must be able to improve his activities. Then that is one. Often likes to work for a long period of time, works often likes to work along, that is not long period, work along. So along means other people, with all other people, he must be able to work. That means he must be a team leader. Then only he will be this one. Then affiliation is the second important element, what a successful leader has to. That he wants to belong to the particular group. He must be associated with the group. I am the leader, you have to follow means nobody can become entrepreneur. He must be with the group. Then he must be, wants to be what he wants to be liked, and will often go along with belong with whatever the rest of the groups. Entrepreneur, he alone cannot design. He alone cannot do all the things. He must go with the group. He must be able to accept the suggestions from the group. He must be able to accept suggestions from the group. He must take initiative to get the feedback from the various other people. So all these aspects he must be able to. That is called affiliation. Actually, what is meant by affiliation? Associated with others. Affiliation అంటే అర్థం ఏంటండి? మనం వేరే వాళ్ళతో అఫిలియేట్ అయి ఉండాలి. మనం గ్రూప్ తో పాటు ఆఫెన్ మింగిల్ అయి ఉండాలి. So we must take the advice from the others. We must be able to guide others. We must be able to show the track of the others. So that is want to be this one. So affiliation in that point wants to be group, post like that, then all the favors collaboration over competition. So he must be అంటే మనం వేరే వాళ్ళతో కొలాబరేట్ అయి వర్క్ చేయాలి కానీ మనకు అందరూ కాంపిటేటర్లే అనుకుంటే కుదరదు. సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. He does not like risk or uncertainty. That is one second important aspect which is not so importantly accepted. He must be a risk taker. So, but high risk aspects are to be eliminated, because if any risk happens, the entire enterprise will go into the dark side. Then third one is power. So, wants this achievement target is that one. He wants to achieve the power. How to achieve the power? Wants to control the influence of the other. He must be able to control and also others to influence. Likes to win the argument, not by force, but by his convenience. So, by convincing others, he must be able to win the argument. So, argument lo win avvali ante మనం అవతల వాళ్ళని కంట్రోల్ చేయడం కాదండి, అవతల వాళ్ళని కన్విన్స్ చేయాలి. ఎంజాయ్ కాంపిటీషన్ అండ్ వర్కింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. ఎంజాయ్ విత్ ద కాంపిటీషన్ ఓన్లీ హీ మస్ట్ బి ఏబుల్ టు విన్. Enjoy status and recognition. He must be recognized, and at the same time, he must be able to enjoy whatever the status that is given by the student. These are the important factors which are identified as a need achievement theory of Necklon. And if all these factors are put together, then it will become a most economic factor which will come for the motivation towards become an entrepreneur. Then second one is second important element is that he must be the various other factors which will so another important another important non-economic factor, that is say that withdrawal of social status. Sometimes
Good evening, sir. Sir, are you listening?
Hello. Yes. So thank you. Hello. I hope I am audible to you, all of you now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now
Okay, this one, BREOU technical team, please, one time, could you please respond? Hello? Officials, please, technical support officials, please respond. స్టూడెంట్స్ కూడా ఇవ్వండి, కొంచెం వాళ్ళు కూడా రెస్పాండ్ అవుతారు. ఏమ్మా సుప్రియ?
సార్ చెప్పండి.
Right, okay. Then you will be able to make out this one. Right. Thank you. So withdrawal of in the previous slide we have explained this one. Withdrawal of social respect in this particular status, who is continue work in society, but he will try to think in a different manner, then it will be very easy for him to do it. Then ritualist, who wants to adopt a kind of defensive behavior and acts in the way what is accepted. So he don't want to produce anything new, or he don't want to become a totally new. He wants to adopt whatever the kind of defensive behavior, that means loss avoidance. So, and he wants to be proved in the society, but no hopes of improving his further position. So, this is, we discussed the case of Fabian entrepreneurs model. Then reformist, he is a person who formats a rebellion and attempts to establish a new society. That is very, very important. And innovator, the person is a creator. He will try to be innovate something and likely to become entrepreneur. These are the various factors that are to be in this one. So when we go for the next slide, these are the various motives what is influencing become a person to become an entrepreneur. Motives is one. Managing entrepreneurs whose chief motive is security. First one, he wants to have a social security and he wants to have sufficient position in the society. Second one is innovating entrepreneurs who are interested only in the excitement. Sometimes I want to do something new. Then it is called as innovation entrepreneur. Next one, the controlling entrepreneurs who above all other motives want to have power and authority. I want to control the market. Whatever I say, that should be accepted in the market. Like that, if the situation is there, that is said to be controlling. There are so many other factors. So many, not only this one, there are so many other non-economic factors also which will motivate a person to become an employer. So this is the very, very important question. Define, in this case, explain the various economic factors and non-economic factors which are prone to the, which are giving boost up to the entrepreneurship. So the question form will be explain various economic factors and non-economic factors that influence entrepreneurship. So first of all, you try to manage your answer. This is a very lengthy question. Answers are also very lengthy, but try to manage your answer very well. So first you start with the, what are the various factors influencing this one. The emergence of entrepreneurship is not spontaneous. It is, so I am telling now what should be your design for that. So emergence of entrepreneurship is not spontaneous. It is also influenced by various economic factors, Then like that 1-2 lines you write at the beginning. That is, then you start with economic factors. Explain the side headings properly. Capital, labor, material, and market infrastructure. 5 factors are there. About all these 5 factors, you give brief explanation of each subheading, how the capital will contribute for the growth of entrepreneurship, that is easy availability of funds, loans, bank support and all. Labor, availability of the right man for the right job. Materials, whatever the required material for the production process. Then market must be able to absorb whatever we produce. Then only a good entrepreneur will come out. Then infrastructure facilities from the government like SEZs, social economic zones, industrial development areas, so industrial parks, etc. They are to be basically to be developed. Then after explanation of this one, you go by non-economic factors. In this, all this explanation I have given you, but you mostly concentrate on the need achievement theory of McLaren, and the three important dominant motivation characteristics are there. That is achievement, affiliation, and power. About this one, you try to make out a paragraph line or points, basically. Always your answer must be straightforward to the question and make it point wise. Then it will be much attractive, because then second one is withdrawal of social status. In that, four subparts are explained to you. Then with that, then motives. What are the motives? Three motives are there. That is managing entrepreneur, who is chief motive is security. If his security is more important. Then innovation entrepreneurs, who is interested in excitement. Controlling entrepreneurs, they are more motivated by the power and authority. There, lastly, as a conclusive line, you can write as various other. There are so many other factors which will motivate a person to become entrepreneur. These are the various economic and non-economic factors for the purpose. Then, what are the social factors which will influence a person to become an entrepreneur? Social norms and values. There are various norms and values are there, which is called as legitimate entrepreneurship. So, some in the society, there are some norms and values. These norms and values also also promote an entrepreneur, also promote a person to become an entrepreneur. Then second important one, role model. In the case of role model, some persons will act as a role model for the others to start up entrepreneur. The best example is Tata. Whenever we thought about Tata Steel, Tata Factory, and Tata Salt is there, Tata Cars are there. So he is a role model. When we see the life history of the Tatas and Birlas, Reliance, Dhirubhai Ambani, and all, yes, why can't we become an entrepreneur when they are able to? So like that, some of the role models also will give motivational factor for the becoming an entrepreneur. Social pressures are also there. So like the social mobility, in the case of social mobility, what you have to write is that, what you have to understand is that a person, if he is able to move from one place to the another, that is called as mobility. So when he is able to move from one place to the another, that will prominently makes a person to become entrepreneur. Wherever there is an opportunity, go there, start up industry, start up a particular business, and go. The best example, please don't think otherwise. That is, I am supporting, I am not any reporting matter in here. So wherever you say there is Raghavendra chain of hotels is there. We are seeing so many areas, so many areas. So wherever there is a possibility, they will establish one, either small or big, depending upon the market condition, they will establish hotels. That is hotel, chain of hotels actually, Raghavendra, Sri Raghavendra hotels. So we have seen so many places where wherever there is a possibility, that is called a social move. They will mobilize. They are mobile from one place to another. They will establish their business activities in various places. Then family background. When coming to the family background,